So, check this out right here. According to the Bible, where do you fall on that? What's your father according to this sign right here?
I guess it's going to be Judah.
Judah, African American. So your pops is African American. Right, so you know that Judah is one of the greatest tribes, all 12 tribes are great, but Judah was the tribe that Jesus the Christ came from. Did you know what color Jesus Christ was?
Yeah.
Or is? Huh? He's black, right? You're guessing right. Black, but let's see what the Bible says. Because you're guessing black, but look, most people that guess, they guess this. You know, because this is what you see. If you Google, on your phone, if you Google Jesus Christ right now, he gonna show up, right? Straight up. So watch this. Let's see what the Bible say. See, he gonna look just like you, Pedro.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 1 and verse 14. His head and his hairs were white like wool.
Start at verse 1.
Verse 1, the revelation of Jesus Christ.
So you know who we're talking about. This is the revelation or the revealing of Jesus the Christ, the black Messiah. Read.
Which God gave unto him to show unto his servants things which must shortly come to pass.
So now he's going to reveal what Christ looks like according to the scriptures, right? Like I said, if you go to your phone and you Google, you're going to get a white image, right? But let's see what the Bible says. This is in every Bible. Give me 13.
Verse 13. And in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man, clothed with a garment down to the foot.
So John the Revelator, he's seeing this image of this man that looked just like the Son of Man, which is Jesus Christ. Read.
Clothed with a garment down to the foot, and girt about the paps with a golden girdle.
And he had a garment down to his foot. He had a long garment on, right? Read.
Verse 14. His head and his hairs were white like wool.
So they said the hair on his head and the hair on his face were white in color and woolly in texture. Who has woolly textured hair today? Black people. That's the same kind of hair I'm looking at right now. In front of me, right? So does this guy have white woolly hair?
No.
Hell no. So that's strike 1 for the fake image of Christ. Read that again. Read on.
His head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow.
So not only were they woolly, they were white in color and woolly in texture, but they were white as snow. They were really, really white. You probably seen brothers like that, older brothers. They got that fully gray. It looks white, right? Read on.
And his eyes were as a flame of fire.
His eyes were the flame of fire. His eyes were a little red, because like sometimes when we drink wine, brothers, our eyes, the whites of our eyes will turn red, right? Read on.
And his eyes were as a flame of fire, and his feet like unto...
Whoa. It says his eyes was a flame of fire. His eyes were a flame of fire, right? And his feet, read.
And his feet like unto fine brass.
What color is fine brass? Do you know? It's a bronze color. What's another name for that? Well, okay, hold on. Is this bronze colored skin? Hell no, Pedro. It's not. Read on.
As if they burned in a furnace.
So look, he said, not only was he brown skin, he said he was so dark that it looked like it burned in a furnace.
That's right.
That's strike 2 and 3 for the white image of Jesus Christ. What the Bible says, he was black, but he was blue black. He was way blacker than me or you. Right? But this is what the world sees. This is what the world pushes. Christianity pushes that because Christianity is a white supremacist doctrine. Read. Come on that.
And his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burned in a furnace. And his voice as the sound of many waters.
And Christ was really loud because he taught a lot of people. That's why we come out here and we speak really, really loud, because we want all of our people to understand who they are.
That's right.
Where you going? Deuteronomy 28, my man. Now check this out. Now, did you know that you come from the greatest people that ever walked the earth? Did you know that? How'd you know? Because we come from Africa, right? Give me that Galatians first. Because actually, we come from the continent of Africa, yes. Because Jerusalem, Israel, is on the continent of Africa. But we're not African people. Read that.
This is the book of Galatians, chapter 4, verse 26. But Jerusalem, which is above, is free, which is the mother of us all.
So Jerusalem is the motherland of the so-called African American, the so-called West Indian, and the so-called Native American Hispanics. That's our motherland. That's our homeland. But you're right. It is in the continent of Africa. But they teach us that we are just Africans. When God said that we're much better. Give me that in what you got? Give me Exodus. Give me Exodus. Yes. Watch this, because God did make a difference between the Africans and the Israelites. Because just because we're both black don't mean we're the same people. Just like you have Chinese people and Japanese people. They're not the same people, even though they kind of look alike. Read.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 11 and verse 7.
No.
But against any of the children of Israel
That's what you are. You're the child. You're one of the children of Israel. It said of any of the children of Israel, read.
shall not a dog move his tongue.
What did God call the other nations?
Shall not a dog move his tongue.
God said the other nations are dogs. They,
That's
they can't
right.
even speak on us. Read.
Shall not a dog move his tongue against any man or beast.
They couldn't even talk about our animals because God made such a distinction between the two of us.
Right.
That ye may know how that the Lord doth put a difference between the Egyptians and
The
Israel.
Lord did what?
Put a difference between the Egyptians and Israel.
Hold up, Pedro. Don't they teach us here in America and in the Christian church that we're all the same, we're all equal? Did you know that's contrary to what the Bible says? This is the same Bible that everybody believes in.
Right.
But it's contrary. You got that in Deuteronomy? Yes,
No.
Deuteronomy 7 and 6.
No.
Watch this. Before I'm gonna show you how you play into this in the grand scheme of this Bible. But watch this.
Get out.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7 and verse 6.
No.
For thou art an holy people
It says, you, Pedro, are holy people. Read.
unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee,
The Lord thy God chose you, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Read.
hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself,
Read.
above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
Now, is that equality, Pedro?
Get out.
Is that equality? Read that part again.
The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people, above all people, above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
Is that equality? No. And this is the Bible. This is the King James Holy Bible. Have you ever heard that? You've heard that before? So you know that there's a distinction between the children of Israel and everybody else. You heard that. So who are you? You are the child of Israel, but we're gonna show you how. Let's go to Deuteronomy 28. Watch this, Pedro. Because first things first, we gotta understand who we are, and then you really understand how we are the greatest people that walk this earth, how we are above all people on this earth. Because it don't just happen just because we say it, because we think it. Now we see it because we're stronger, faster, smarter than all the other nations.
That's right.
That's a fact. That's a verifiable fact. You can look and see that, right? Read that. Let's continue.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 15.
It's about the black history of the Bible. This is your history, Pedro. Read.
But it shall come to pass,
It's going to happen.
if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So God said that if the children of Israel, read verse 1 real quick. If the children of Israel didn't keep the commandments of God, that all the curses that we're going to read are going to overcome them and overtake them. That's how we're going to prove. Deuteronomy 1 and 1 is going to show that it's talking about Israel. Well, I'm going to get the context of who it's talking about so we know, so we're not confused. Read.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 1 and verse 1. These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel.
So Moses is speaking to who? Israel, right? So now let's go back. So we're still in the book of Deuteronomy. So Deuteronomy chapter 28, give me verse 16 now. Watch this.
Verse 16. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 16.
Read.
Cursed shalt thou be in the city.
It said, cursed shalt thou be in the city. Curses, Pedro. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? That's a bad thing, right? It says, cursed shall you be in the cities. When you go throughout the cities, throughout anywhere in America, right? Throughout the world, who are the people that seem to be cursed in those cities? Black people, right?
That's
Hispanic
right.
people, because we're on the south side too. Blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, right? We're going through it together, right? Watch, read on.
Cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field.
In the fields, in cotton fields, sugarcane fields, rubber plantations, who were the people that were cursed in those fields?
No.
Black people. What are we reading? Black history out the Bible. This is your history, Pedro. Read on.
And cursed shalt thou be in the field. Cursed shall be thy basket and thy store.
Are black businesses booming in America or anywhere on earth? Absolutely not. We ain't competing on the same level as like a Walmart, you know, all these different corporations, churches. We don't own those things, right?
Teach us.
We got the small mom and pops because God said our baskets, our businesses were going to be cursed. Jump down to verse 32.
Verse 32.
Well, we reading your history, Pedro. Read.
Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
So it said the children of Israel, their sons and daughters were going to be given unto another people, another race of people. Now, did that happen to us? Bring that up. Did that happen to us? Give me that. Yep, that's the one. That's the one right there. Did that happen to us?
No.
What are we reading? Bible prophecy,
That's
which is
right.
now black history.
That's right.
You see that? This stuff happened, right? That's how we got to America. What's your last name? Jonathan. Your name is Jonathan Miller. Your name ain't Pedro. Okay. So Jonathan Miller. Do you know where that last name Miller came from? It came from the people that were selling us right here. These white people that were selling us. When they were selling us, when they bought us, they would put their names on us. So our last names that we have are the names that we got from our slave masters.
That's right.
That's Bible prophecy showing that we were sold into captivity. We were sold into slavery.
That's right.
Right? Read that again. So you know we ain't making nothing up.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
So historically, were we given to another people? Right.
And thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long. And there shall be no might in thine hand.
So when they sold us to another race of people, did we have any power to get them back, to get the kids back? Absolutely not. Just like today. If DHS comes and takes your children away, do you have any power to get those kids back? If you do what? Whatever the hell they tell you to do, right? You gotta go, you gotta do whatever they tell you to do to get your children back. These are curses God put upon us for disobedience, for breaking his commandments. You have kids? You got kids, right? So if your children, if you made rules for your children and your children didn't follow those rules, you would put that child on punishment, right? After you whooped his ass, right? That's what you would do, right? And if he doesn't change his behavior, are you going to take him off punishment? Read verse 15 again.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 15.
I want you to remember the concept. The Most High God is our Father, right?
That's right.
We were put into slavery or on punishment and got our butts whooped for disobedience. Now, is it going to be by obedience or disobedience that we're going to get off punishment?
No.
Obedience, right? Give me that.
Verse 15, but it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God,
If you don't obey the laws that the Most High God gave you, read,
to observe and to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses,
all these what?
all these curses,
Our sons and daughters are given to another people was what? A curse, right? Read on.
all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
We used to scream black power while Heron was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission. Minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold. From Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.